his brother, his elder brother.
Ernest never mentioned to me that he had a brother.
I'm sorry to say, but they have not been on good terms for a very long time.
That accounts for it. And now that I think of it, I have never heard any man mention his brother. The subject seems almost distasteful to most men. Oh, Cicely, you have lifted a load from my mind. I was growing almost anxious. It would have been terrible if any cloud had come across a friendship like ours, would it not? Then again, you were quite sure it is not Mr. Ernest Worthing who is the guardian.
Quite sure. In fact, I am going to be here.
Pardon?
Dearest Gentleman, there is no reason why I should make up a secret to you. Our little country newspaper is sure to chronicle the fact next week that Mr. Ernest Worthing and I are engaged to be married.
Right, dear Cicely, I think there might be some slight error. Mr. Ernest and I are engaged to be married. The announcement appeared in the Morning Post at Saturday at the latest.
I'm afraid there must be some slight misconception. Ernest proposed to me exactly 10 minutes ago.
He's very curious, and he asked me to be his wife yesterday afternoon at 5:30. If you would care to verify the incident, pray do so. I always travel with my diary. One should always have something sensational to read on the train. I'm sorry, my dear Cicely, if it is of any disappointment to you, but I am afraid I have the prior claim.
Dearest Gentleman, I would not like to cause any mental or physical anguish, but I feel bound to point out that since Ernest proposed to you, he could change his mind.
If the poor fellow has been entrapped into any foolish promise, I shall consider it my duty to rescue him at once, and with a firm hand.
Whatever entanglement my poor dear boy has gotten into, I will never reproach it to him. Ask to be married.
You allude to me, Miss Cardew, as an entanglement. You are presumptuous. On an occasion of this kind, it becomes more than a moral duty to speak one's mind. It becomes a pleasure.
Do you suggest, Miss Fairfax, that I entrap Ernest into this engagement? How dare you? This is not the time for wearing the shallow mask of manners. When I see a spade, I call it a spade.
I am glad to say I have never seen a spade. It is obvious that our social spheres have been widely different.